Enough is enough, they're crying. Enough is enough. Enough what? People don't leave their homes lightly, their communities, the people that they know, their neighborhoods. To travel halfway around the world is actually a massive deal. And they wouldn't do it, and people don't do it, generally unless they're forced to do it. People come here because their countries have been asset stripped and economically exploited by Western nations. So they actually don't have anything at home. They don't have a way to make a living. Yeah? We think about the textile industries that have been destroyed by Western nations dumping cheap clothes and fast fashion onto those economies. That's why it always baffled me when I used to see, when I was a kid, and I'd see little African kids wearing, like these worn out Western garments. What's happened is that their local production, their local textile production has been devastated, yeah, by illegal dumping of textiles onto the local markets, and the local manufacturers cannot compete. You can't compete with stuff which is essentially free. So that's what's happening on a really large scale, right? So, and the same is also true of fisheries in a sense, right? You have local fishermen who can no longer fish because of Western super trawlers hoovering up all of the local fish. And you wonder why people become pirates, the so-called Somali pirates. That was the backstory, right? And then there's the fact that 90% of African art lies in the museums of the Louvre and the British Museum. And it's all stolen. It's all stolen art, right? So if you actually want to see great African art, you have to come to Europe because it's been stolen. So the best way to keep people in their countries, right? The best way to stop immigration is to stop stealing from African countries, stop bombing African countries, yeah? And return the stuff you stole. Because as far as I'm concerned, every single African who comes here has a right to be here, plainly because you've got all of their stuff. So the moment you return their stuff, yeah, everyone can go back home, but you know and I know that's not going to happen. You ain't going to return their stuff. So I actually have no sympathy whatsoever for the people who are protesting against illegal immigration, because when you went into Africa and stole all their stuff, you never asked permission. You went with a gunboat. You went with force of arms. You went with a gunboat. You went with cannon and mortar and shells and guns, and you took what you wanted to. You just took it, right? So I think people are within their rights to come here if they want to come here. Nobody wants to be here. If they had a choice, they wouldn't be here. But now they're here, unless you're prepared to compensate them and return their stuff, shut up. You have absolutely no right to complain.